this is Michelle from Clarinet Mentors. Today I want to show you a system for learning how to do really fast tonguing and also how to get some great staccato tonguing. Now this is just a mini lesson. There are lots more things I could say about it, but I will tell you, if you use these techniques and try them out for maybe 2 weeks, you're going to notice a huge improvement in how fast you can tongue and how clear your articulation is. I know for myself, there are times where when I'm playing something really fast, it sounds like my tongue and fingers get out of sync, and instead of do, I end up with blah, 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 blah. I'm sure you might know what I mean. Many people have experienced that. And this is one of the techniques that help me to get my tongue and fingers more in sync. I also used to find it challenging to tongue quickly enough. And once I learned this system, my tonguing speed probably doubled, and now it's one of my strengths, and it's all because of this system. And I owe this system to one of my favorite teachers, Ted Owen, who plays principal clarinet in the Detroit Symphony. So he showed it to me, and I've showed it to many of my students and seen great results, and I'm going to show it to you. So here's the quick version of it. This is an exercise to teach your tongue a new skill, and it's called stop tonguing. And it's one form of staccato that's really handy to learn. And I think once you learn it well, you'll probably find that you end up using it a lot of the time when you have staccato passages. So, in a nutshell, when we do regular tonguing, which you're probably very good at doing, imagine that my finger here is your tongue. Your tongue will hit the reed to start every note. T, T, T. Nothing new, you've been doing that for a while. The difference between stop tonguing and normal tonguing is that in stop tonguing, our tongue is going to come back to the reed to end the note. And as soon as our tongue sort of closes off the reed, the note ends instantly. Now this gives us a really crisp articulation. So slow motion stop tonguing would look like this. Tot, tot, tot. Now we wouldn't actually go that slowly if we were playing a piece of music, but this is how we're going to learn it. So with stop tonguing, we actually blow all the time, as if I'm just playing a long note. So even when my tongue has closed off the reed and the reed is shut, I keep blowing. Now, of course, if I did this for a long time, my head would probably explode or something, and I don't want your head to explode. But what you will get is a little bit of back pressure built up. That's normal, that's okay, and it means when you take your tongue off the reed, there's fantastic air pressure to start the next note. The biggest challenge that many people have when they do staccato is they stop blowing between notes. So they achieve staccato with their air. What happens is while we're letting our air pressure down between notes, it often slows down too much and we get a mushy, fuzzy sound. And you'll find the next note doesn't speak very well. So I know so many people who say, gosh, when I'm trying to tongue high notes, especially when I'm tonguing fast and high, the notes just don't speak. And that's usually because we're letting our air pressure down. Now, it is possible to tongue by stopping blowing and get a great staccato, but it's much harder. So I think you'll find this system will give you an easier way of doing that. So here's the exercise, and I want you to have a clarinet and try this with me. And I want it to feel simple for you. So step one, we're going to just play an open G. That's the note we play when we put our clarinet in our mouth with no holes covered. Every hole's open, so its nickname is open G. And I just want you to play it with fast, steady air and sustain it. And the idea is we just notice how our body feels when we're blowing non-stop. Very simple. I'll demonstrate. That's how you start. And you really just want to make sure your air is very consistent and very even as we do this. All right, step two is we're going to do normal tonguing. So we're going to imagine we have legato quarter notes. My tongue hits the reed at the start of each note. It's as if I'm going. You've probably been doing this before, pretty straightforward. While I play it, I'll have my finger representing my tongue on the reed. Now there's two things I'm focusing on in step two. One is that my air is still completely non-stop, the same as it was when I was sustaining one note. And the second thing is that as my tongue starts each note, that the notes sound exactly the same. So I wouldn't want to have some notes really accented and some notes really light. I'd want to keep them all exactly the same. All right, step three. Here's where we're teaching your tongue something new. And this one I want you to do really carefully because now you're teaching yourself something new. What we're going to do is we're going to have our tongue off the reed half the time and then come back and close the note and sit on the reed for half the time. Now, this is an exaggerated exercise. Our tongue is going to be closing the reed off much longer than it actually will when we put this into practice in a real song. So you may get air leaking out the sides of your mouth. Your tone may not be great. You know what? That's fine. All of that's okay for this exercise. This exercise is about blowing the whole time and teaching your tongue to end the notes cleanly. So what our focus is that when our tongue comes back to the reed to end the notes, that it does it quickly and we get a clean ending to the note. If my tongue is moving really quickly, I should hear ta, ta, ta. Now often at first, our tongue is a little unsure how to do that, so we end up with ta, ta, and you may find that happens, and that's okay. But you just want to encourage your tongue to kind of make sure it's hitting near the tip of the reed and getting faster. We don't want to go very quickly. And this exercise is harder to do slowly, but I want to encourage you to keep it slowly so that we can really hear how the notes are ending. So here's my tongue on the reed. I'll probably have air leaking out the sides of my mouth. My tone may not be great, but that's okay. I'm training my tongue and air to do a very specific skill that's going to serve me well. I did about 4 in a row there. Like I said, you might find your tongue is not always clean. It might sound something like this. So I had a really clean one in the middle. My other 2 weren't so good, but I would just keep working at it to get that really clean. That's step 3. I'm still blowing the whole time. Our big temptation in step 3 is to actually stop blowing, to kind of go ta, stop blowing. Stop blowing. You don't want to do that. You have to keep blowing. Even though we have air pressure building up in our mouth, that's going to serve us well. All right, step 4 is an extension of step 3. We're going to do the same thing, very slow exercise. Our tongue starts each note, comes back to the reed to end each note. But now we want to imagine that your tongue has a big rubber band holding it onto the mouthpiece, and when it comes off, it's going to snap back. Tut, 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 tut. So almost it's like it's on the reed more than it's off. And we're going to make the notes as pecky and as short as we possibly can. And remember, this is an exercise in exaggeration. So I'll demonstrate it. Not going to sound like the most beautiful clarinetist in the world, but I'm really, in doing this, actually teaching my tongue to move really quickly, which is a bonus of this system. So here we go. Now, you might hear air leaking out the sides of my mouth. It is, if you can't hear it through this microphone. A lot of back pressure, but boy, am I teaching my tongue something important. So when you do this step, make it as short as you can and don't go too fast. If we take it too quickly, what happens is instead of ending the notes, we just are starting the next one because the notes are so close together. There's a bunch of short notes, but they're only short because they're fast. That, in fact, is not stop tongue. Listen to the difference. I'll start with what I was just doing, which is only my tongue starting the note, and then I'll morph it into my tongue ending the note as well. You can hear a difference. Now, again, I'm doing the exaggerated form. This is an exercise. That's how you train your tongue. Once you have your tongue used to this, then we'll discover how we can actually use this in different pieces. The next step in working on this at home for you would be to take a very easy scale. I'm going to say an F major scale. Starting on low F, play each note of the scale in a quarter note and 4 short sixteenths. Again, making it as short as you can. What I'm listening for in the 4 16th notes is that they match each other. We sometimes have a tendency to make one longer, ta, 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 ta. So we want them all ta, 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 ta. This will train your tongue to move quickly and shortly and sound great. From there, I would say anything that uses fast tonguing, I use this system. So take this, take some of your pieces that have staccato, try this technique, and I'm sure it's going to work really well for you. So I want you to try this out, have fun at home, and thanks for listening to this.